Coach, do you have any update on Michaela or Ariel? Ariel left at halftime, and it looked like Michaela was out for the rest of the game.
Yeah, I think Michaela's fine. No concussion or anything. Ariel is still being analyzed.
Coach, you've now seen Minnesota 3 times in the last 8 games, and just the caliber you guys have been playing over them, is there, at this particular point in the season, knowing how good they've been and the fact that you guys been able to be in these games, with the exception of the second half today, what do you think are some of the benefits of facing them at this point in the season?
I think that at this point we're getting everybody's best shot, and we want everybody to get our best shot, no matter who we're playing. I think that every game has been a test for us thus far, no matter what side we've come out of it on. So I don't know that there's anything specific to take from playing Minnesota specifically. They're obviously a championship caliber team. They're number 1 in the league in a lot of different categories. So, but I think that what we've seen, whether it's Minnesota or any other team, we've seen a ton of pressure, and I think that was the biggest adjustment that they made against us tonight. Is I think they probably felt like that we played a little bit harder and more physical with them the other night, and to me it was clear that was what their intent was coming into tonight. And so we didn't handle the pressure great today. Another 19 turnovers, which we can't have if we want to give ourselves opportunities to score. I thought the first half we managed it pretty well. That's with the exception of the last maybe 2 minutes in that second quarter. And then the second half, I thought that they just played a little bit harder than we did, and whether that was due to fatigue on our end or what have you, I'm not sure. But we didn't close out the game like we wanted to today.
Go to Steven, then Nancy.
Hey, Coach Marsh. In addition to the pressure, I think I noticed they were switching significantly more than they did in the previous matchups with them. I was curious, just from your perspective, offensively, what maybe were you expecting to see more from your team to kind of counter the switches and put them in a disadvantage?
Yeah, I think their switching just made it difficult for us to get the ball inside a little bit and forced us to play on the perimeter a little bit more in a way that we weren't able to get the same looks of paint penetration as we were able to before. I just think they made it really tough for us in terms of being disruptive, and so that's what they did with their switching the ball on our end. Didn't move as quickly as we wanted to take advantage of those opportunities. And then they did a decent job with us on the offensive glass. So our second chance opportunities weren't as plentiful as it was the other night. And so, again, they capitalized off of our turnovers. They were able to get out of transition off of them as well. And so we just got to do a better job of taking care of the ball.
Nancy, then
Mia. This is, I think, the 8th game that you just had a double-double and shooting better than 50% from the floor. What specifically do you like about her game right now? And is this kind of what you envisioned when you had her switch roles a little bit coming in?
Yeah, for sure. The versatility is definitely something that I saw coming into to the season and coming into the job. All the tape prior to that I watched on Angel, there's different ways that I felt like she could be effective. And so, in addition to rebounding and being in the low post, and I think she's shown that versatility as this year's gone on. I think that over the course of these last 8 games, it's been her aggression, it's been her willingness to, or it's been her ability to understand when she's got the lane as a scorer and when she can be a facilitator. And so then obviously what she brings on the defensive end as well. I know she didn't pull down any offensive rebounds tonight, but she had 10 defensive rebounds, and those are key too. And so I thought Minnesota made a conscious effort to keep her off the offensive glass today, and but she was able to find ways again to grab 10 defensive rebounds. I think that I think to answer your question directly, it's just been her aggression and being able to recognize her opportunities in different areas of the floor, whether it's in the low post, high post, or on the perimeter, and being able to feed off her teammates from that standpoint as well.
Yeah, second row on your right.
Coach, first quarter, you guys went 4 from 8 from the 3. After that, at the end of the game, you went 7 for 15. So I'm wondering, was that the plan going into the game to shoot more threes? And then why do you think that production lessened as time went on?
No, I wouldn't necessarily say it was part of the game plan. I think we still want to play inside out for the most part and take advantage of those opportunities when we've drawn defense and multiple defenders and been able to exploit the help with our shooters. But I thought a big part of it was we just weren't the ball just wasn't moving as quickly as we like to. They made us stagnant a little bit today, which kind of inhibited our ability to play with the pace and the space that we talked about pregame in game plan. And it was the area that I spoke about having being pleased with from the last time we played it. And so when the ball's not moving, when our bodies aren't moving, it's hard to generate open shots. So.
Christian and Brian.
Christian, one sider. Angel mentioned earlier that perimeter defense was an issue. That was something that was an issue earlier on in the season, and now we saw that in this game. And you mentioned fatigue. Do you think fatigue played a part in the perimeter defense being an issue? And if so, what is kind of the plan to manage with Courtney Vandersloot is out, Ariel may be out, may not be? How do you manage the fatigue and some players playing so many minutes?
Yeah, I think that that's on me to try to balance out the minutes and the rotations from that standpoint to keep players fresh and everything. But I think that I think our defense it goes hand in hand. I think that across the board we got to be able to cover for each other when there's times throughout the game where we're in scramble mode, and that's kind of possessions that you see when you go against a team like Minnesota that keeps the floor space with all 5 players. You're in scramble mode a lot when someone gets beat, and you got to know where your help is coming from and how to recover out of that. Feed puts a lot of pressure on you because she can exploit you on rolls to the rim, or she can pick and pop and play off the catch and things of that nature. And so, we just got to be better in those areas. I thought we were really good in those areas in the last time that we played against them, and fell short today. But it's all opportunities to correct moving forward.
Good time for a few more. We'll go to Brian and Dalton.
So, Coach, we saw more minutes with E. Will operating as the hub for the offense. Just trying to get your thoughts there on what you kind of like for those minutes.
Yeah, I mean he's been pretty consistent in terms of the effort that she gives us and the ability to keep our offense moving at times. She's a willing passer, just like the rest of our post players, and she always gives maximum effort on both ends of the floor. She's anchored defensively when she's out there, and so I thought she played decent tonight. She was aggressive in the opportunities that she was able to have, but she's kind of been someone that we've been able to lean on, whether it's been in the starting role while Camilla's been out or coming off the bench. So.
Yeah, Coach, you alluded to the kind of the change of momentum there at the end of the second quarter, last minute. They get a 7-0 run. Was there an address of maybe the message moving into the second half, or maybe just a lapse of focus, just in that moment in general?
Yeah, we got to be able to capitalize when we got to lead to 10 points during that time, and then they cut it to 2 going into the half, and it's just against a team that, like Minnesota, you just can't have those lapses in that short of a time. And so we talk all the time about not compounding mistakes, and whether it was shot selection, whether it was turnovers, or whether it was on the defensive end, we got to have the ability to be resilient in the moment. And now that 1 turned into 2. And so, and again, I think that's been an area that when you look at our first few games earlier in the season to maybe our last 6 or 7, it's been an area that we really cleaned up. But tonight it just didn't happen that way.
Last couple, we'll go to Mia.
Coach, more on that, just kind of, you talked a lot about having the right mindset in the game, taking care of the ball. That wasn't very apparent today. So when you go back to the locker room, you're talking to your players, what do you tell them? Do you think this is just, a lapse in the game? Because it has been getting better. I'm just wondering what your approach is to the players.
Yeah, I think it's very clear. I think our players understand it too. It's the proof has been there. When we take care of the ball, we can be pretty formidable offensively. When we don't, it puts a hamper not just on you offensively, but defensively now. And so we just got to value. We talk about valuing possessions all the time, and that it's not just on the offensive end; it's on the defensive end as well. But specific to turnovers, we got to take care of it, and our shot selection is just as important as not turning the ball over. So.
Thank you, Coach. Thanks.